Hi there, this is Bibi Cameron here, and today I'm passing by to show you how to make this super cute pop-up floral card. This card measures 5 by 7 inches, but you can make it in any size. And I'm going to cut the inner panels just to show you how I do it to avoid wasting paper. So we are going to cut this paper at 6 inches 3/4 like so. And then we are going to rotate the paper and we are going to cut 2 panels at 4 inches 3/4. Don't worry about learning the sizes of these pieces. All this is in my blog and you just can copy paste and that's easy. So we are going to get 4 pieces and now we are going to grab this long one here and we are going to trim it at 8 inches and a half. The width of this piece is about 1 inch and a half. And we are going to score this every inch. So we are going to have a piece that is scored every inch, and at the very end we have this little tab that measures just ½ inch, and this is the tab we are going to use to adhere this piece together like I'm showing here. So we fold it in half and we just glue that together, and then we can fold a little bit this paper over those scoring lines like so. We are not burnishing the paper or anything, we're just shaping this up. And now we need to cut this in 3 pieces, so we need to cut every ½ inch, and I'm using here a pen just to guide myself to know where those cuts are, because in my trimmers you cannot see where is ½ inch, but for example in this mini trimmer just the width of that metal bit that is there is ½ inch. So I'm guiding myself to make a perfect straight cut, and I'm going to trim this one because this one is slightly wider than ½ inch and I want the pieces to be all the same. And now I need you to pay attention because we are going to grab these pieces and we are going to fold the paper like I'm showing here, just like that. And we are going to add a little bit of glue on the edges there, and then we are going to make sure that that's glued together like so. You don't need to do this fold in a specific place. This is a symmetrical piece, so wherever you do this fold, the only thing you need to make sure is that you add glue only at the edge of the fold, because we are going to insert things in the middle of that fold, and you will understand that a little bit later. So this is done, and now we are going to grab a card base that measures 5 inches by 7 inches. So we are going to open this up and we are going to adhere the panels that we just cut, and they are 1/4 of an inch shorter than the panels of the card base. These are decorative, but they also give some strength to the paper, and they are optional. You can use them or not, but because I'm using blue cardstock for the mechanism, this also gives some sense that the flowers are floating on that blue background. So you can see the pieces for the mechanism there, they look like hearts, and I'm going to apply glue over the 2 areas or between the 2 scoring lines that are next to the fold. It's very hard to explain, very hard to understand, but super easy to do, trust me. Maybe here I cannot show you properly, but I will show you that better in one moment. So we are going to align this with the scoring line and we are going to adhere this like so. Take your time to adhere this and make sure that the paper or the card base opens flat, just like that. Then maybe here you can see better, I'm applying glue on the top of that heart shape, and the fold is in the middle of those 2 scoring lines. You see the fold have to be just in the middle or in the center, aligned with the card base scoring line. And before the glue dries completely, we are going to close the card base and we are going to make sure that this is folding and opening with no problem. And we are going to do the same with this 3rd piece here. You can use 2 of these pieces or just 1 for a smaller card, but I'm going to use 3 because I want like a mechanism that goes all over the center of that card. Okay, next I want to show you why we have those folds in the center of the mechanism. So those are support for these pieces that are very narrow. They measure about 1/4 of an inch width and they are about 4 inches. But you will see me trimming them at the size that I need, and you can do that as well. So we will add glue at the very end of that piece and we will insert it in the middle of that fold. And then we have some elements or some pop-up elements that moves or they are mobile. They are not static there. Please pay attention that I'm also adhering this in a diagonal. They are pointing out towards the sides of the card base. You'll notice that they will try to stay up, but with your hands you can fold them down and give them shape. So what I'm doing here is one piece is going to go to one side, then the next one to the other side, and the next one to the other side. And I trim any piece of paper that is sticking out of the page or that is too long. It's also important to let you know that these pieces are not 100% essential, but they add a lot of magic and movement to the pop-up. You can also add some of these pieces directly to the mechanism, but always tasting them, always closing the card base, checking if you actually can close the card base, and you will see where you have to cut them so the card base move a lot better. I'm going to adhere the elements on the mechanism and pay attention because I'm going to add glue in this area here that is to one side of the mechanism, and I'm folding the paper a little bit to know where I can adhere this flower without stopping the movement of that mechanism. Now we are going to add glue at this side of the next piece to balance things out as well, and we are going to do exactly the same. Pay attention that the edge of that flower could stop the movement of the mechanism. We try it, and we have to make sure that everything folds. And we have to keep doing that every time we adhere anything over the center of this mechanism here. Okay, now I'm going to adhere something on the arms of the mechanism just to show you. So we just need to align this like so, and that's it. And we just need to keep gluing things over this. This is totally DIY, so you can adjust things all the time. Trim here and make sure that the things are not going to stick out of the page. And from there, all you have to do is to fill up that pop-up. You can add some filler die cuts at the back of the mechanism, not over the mechanism. This is going on the card base. Also at the other side of the mechanism that you didn't use. You can also adhere some flowers over the floating flowers. And well, the idea is to cover this pop-up as much as we can with die cuts so we cannot see the pieces or the components of that DIY pop-up mechanism. Cover the floating arms or the arms of the mechanism, I'm also going to use die cuts, and a leaf or a branch is ideal to do that as I'm doing here. And I'm not speeding the camera here because I really want you to see how I'm gluing this. I'm also using the Misty Precision Glue Press. It's in the links in the video description and it's available now. It was out of stock for a long time. This glue gun comes with Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. That is my very favorite adhesive. It dries really quick, it's strong, it dries clear, and it's good to adhere a wide variety of materials. I've been using it for years and I cannot live without this glue. It's just amazing. And before I forget, if you are going to adhere elements to the card base as I'm doing here, just make sure that they are completely adhered to the card base and they are not sticking out or popping up, so they won't stop the movement or the elements that are here in the center of the card. So you will see that this is like a triangular shape, and you have die cuts glue at both sides of the triangle. That's pretty much it. I hope you like this idea, and if you like butterflies, you can also use Bibi's delicate butterflies dissect to make this card. For this, I made some variations to the mechanism, and I'm going to show you that in a next video. For now, I'm going to add some sparkle, and I'm going to use these sequins. They are completely flat, so they don't add any bulk to this pop-up. They are very easy to add to the flowers, and they therefore add a beautiful finishing touch. And to make the things easier for me, I'm using this embellishment wand that has wax in one of the ends and makes easy to lift and to place the different sequins or sometimes die cuts in place. Is one of my favorite tools. I have it always at hand since Simons Stand released it last year. Love it. Okay, so this is done, and now we are going to make a front panel for this card because it has a lot of things inside. We want to make something very simple for the front. So I'm using here die cuts, a heart, flowers, a sentiment, and some leaves. And of course, we are going to embellish with some of these same sequins, and they add so much value to this kind of super simple compositions. All we have to do now is to adhere this onto the front panel of the card base, and the card is done. You can create this card for any occasion. You can make it in different sizes. And well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel or visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. Thank you very much for watching, and happy crafting. Bye.